Hello, welcome back to Crushing Sounds. My name is Chris, and today I have another awesome interview for you all. Today I'm joined by the awesome Bristol Metal band Moon Reaper. Lots of awesomes going on in there because I'm joined by lovely, awesome people. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. How are you all doing?
Great, thanks.
Yeah, good
Very
man.
well, thanks.
A resounding yes all around, I think. So, would you all like to introduce yourselves and your roles within the band?
What's up? I'm Morgan. I do vocals and guitar. I'm like the big boy, you know. I'm like the big daddy, and these are my peasants.
And I guess I'll go next because I was the first guy recruited in this fresh lineup. My name's Aidan. I'm playing the bass, and yeah, my bass is what shows up on this release coming up. So you've actually heard my playing so far.
I think Zach is frozen.
Yeah, there's always one.
Rip. Well, I'll go next. Hi, I'm Noah. I play lead guitar and slash second guitar, and I've recently joined the band and got a few gigs lined up. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to the album. Yeah.
Fantastic. Zach, are you with us?
Back, back.
Am I back?
Yes, hello.
Zach is back.
Right, so this is Zach. We were just doing introductions. Who are you, Zach?
Who am I? Where to start? I was born in 1993. No, I'm from Worcester. I met Aidan and Morgan just off Facebook. I was just scrolling local bands to see if anyone needed a drummer. Came across these guys. There were a couple of bands I looked at, but I didn't really like them. Came across these guys and went from there. Sent them a message, and now yeah, cool. Come practice and meet up and do some rehearsal videos for us. And I did, and just went from there really. And now they probably wish they never had me because I'm really annoying.
Nah, he blew us away.
Awesome stuff. So that is Moon Reaper, as it were. So I've been familiar with you guys for quite some time, all the way back to the OG lineup, as it were. Just to recap for those not in the know, how did Moon Reaper come to be, and what has led to where you guys are now?
Moon Reaper was originally a project through BIM, which is like a music university, and I was helping out these two guys in the year above me. They weren't actually they were girls, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, and I decided that I really wanted to do this properly and take it a bit further, and they thought it was a good idea, and then started getting all these ideas about what I could put into a band, and then how that's kind of how all the genres came into it, and it was originally like classic doom metal, but I'm glad that I've proliferated from there. Um, and then they kind of had other responsibilities and dropped off the radar a bit. So got new guys now, so it's pretty sick. It was yeah originally a uni project, but now it's my full time thing, and I wouldn't change that. You know, I wouldn't change it.
Yeah, for sure. I remember because I was in the same module. I can't remember if you were in that year or not, but I remember seeing the original show. Yeah, your guys' show first like module exam was straight after mine and another guys, and I saw you guys coming in like full corpse paint, and I went, Bristol needs more bands that look like that for sure. Yeah. So, would you say that the core idea for the band's sound has stayed the same with this new lineup, or has there been a slightly new vision going on?
Well, since the old lineup was completely changed, it was kind of doomed with like a splash of rock in it, but now it's many things, many genres, and yeah, kind of a bit of amalgamation of stuff that I like. And now I've got the new influences from these guys. Um, we're currently getting around to writing some new stuff with all of the input from the different corners. So can't really say too much how that's going to turn out, but the EP is definitely much more um, accommodating for the different styles for sure.
One
Yeah,
thing that
awesome.
I've really noticed has come out in just the recent practices is we've started putting, just little things like blast beats into the tracks, which weren't there before, because there's now a drummer who can do them. Not throwing any shade. It's not for everybody.
If you're not blast beating, what are you doing there? So, So, anyway, for those who have not checked you guys out previously, how would you describe the sound of Moon Reaper?
No, you want to take this one?
Yeah. So it's a bit of a mix of things. I think there's a big emphasis on atmosphere. Obviously, it's rooted in like kind of doom metal and black metal, but then there seems to be a bit of a mix of kind of post rock, bit of groove, bit of quite a mash of things. I think it's quite a fresh sound, and we're quite excited to see how we can develop that as a band.
Bit of prog in there too sometimes. A little bit.
Little bit of frog. I guess I'll get the obvious question out of the way. Where does the name Moon Reaper come from?
I originally theorized the Moon Reaper concept from it was actually a YouTube video I watched about a journey to the end of time and what will eventually happen at the end of our universe. And at the end of the universe, black holes will just swirl around this eternally expanding void with literally nothing apart from black holes and like a few quarks and these kind of dead moons and these dead planets floating around. So the Moon Reaper is personified by the black hole, and that is what Moon Reaper is. It's the experience of like absolute obliteration, annihilation, and kind of destruction in a mind-bending, dimension-shifting fucking way. So that's the name, yeah.
Yeah. These days, I think we can't wait for that day to come. Sometimes, so yeah. So I've looked at one of your tracks for this channel before. That was the track Spiralism. Just to reiterate, people watching, it is amazing, and if you haven't heard it yet, you should fucking go and do it. How did the release of that go? How was it received?
I think it was received pretty well. Like we didn't have very much traction or a big promotional campaign due to kind of financial constraints, which I'm sure every band is familiar with. I think there wasn't any negative feedback from it, which is always good. But again, it's like there's not enough of a sample size for me to say like it was 100% banging or whatever. We'll find out. We'll find out how it fares with the EP because it features on the EP as a second track. So yeah, I reckon overwhelmingly positive, but with potential to be otherwise.
But there's 10 people loving it out of 10 people is 100% success rate. So, of course, as you mentioned, you have your debut EP about to drop later this month. Spiralism was our first glimpse at said EP. Would you say Spiralism is emblematic of the EP as a whole, which is why you dropped it first, or does every track bring something a little bit different to the table?
Zach, you want to take this one?
Yeah, man. I reckon, from my own opinion, I reckon every track is different. Like I said, it all has, like Noah said earlier, it all has like a similar atmospheric vibe to everything. But there's, when the guys were sending me the stuff to rehearse, like one of the tracks, I was listening to it, and I was like, it sounded like Veil of Maya or something, like the intro riff to Time Warper, I think it was. It's like very like genty, and then it's just crushing for the last half of the song, sort of a bit like Spiralism, I guess. Necromancy is very more straightforward and doomy, like funeral doomy and sparse. So yeah, I reckon it all has that doom atmospheric thing running through every song, but each one I would say varies quite a lot.
Yeah.
There are definitely some tracks on it which are inspired to induce violence, like real movement in a pit, and then others are more for contemplating the end of all existence.
I like that.
And I think they I think they mesh quite nicely. I enjoy it.
I don't think.
Just excited to see what other people do.
Yeah, I don't think Spiralism isn't emblematic of the EP, but there's enough variance to.
Yeah.
Definitely a good dynamic throughout.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Yeah, can't wait to hear it. Were there any like specific bands that where inspiration was drawn for this whole thing, or did you want to make it as original as you possibly could?
Writing wise, dude, I saw Conjurer at Downloads, and
That that
I discovered Conjurer. I was like, I've got to do something not like similar or the same, but I've got to use my experience from seeing them, and I'd say they were the main inspiration for writing. And coincidentally, we all love Conjurer individually before we even met, which is probably the most because of that. It's probably the most relevant band to mention there. Other than that, I'd say Black Tongue has a bit of an influence. At least when I was writing, I was thinking kind of Swallow the Sun, which is like a post doom metal kind of vibe, but with some like beat down in it. You know, chuck some fucking riffs in there, make people together. That's the vibe I was going for. So yeah, I would say mainly Conjurer as the final answer to that.
yeah, I remember like Conjurer on like the New Blood stage of Bloodstock like several years back, and like the buzz, the festival going, you need to watch this band because they're going to be huge. And it seems like every time you go to a underground metal show, people are talking about Conjurer. They're going to be fucking huge. So, I mean, that's not an original thought to say, but here you go. Crushing Sounds says Conjurer are going to be huge. So going back to the EP, what went into the making of the EP? How did it come to be, the construction of the whole thing?
Can I go ahead on this?
Go for it.
So when I joined the band, this is back in like last August. Morgan told me I've got these 5 songs. They're all written. I've written them over the summer because I've had nothing else to do. And with our old drummer, she wrote the drum parts to it over MIDI, and then we would go over to the producer's place and we would record the tracks one by one. Just once we've got those drum parts, and we'd put down the guitars, the bass, and the vocals all in one go, song by song. That's basically how it worked out.
Yeah.
But the MIDI drums was absolutely like out of necessity because we couldn't manage recording a real life drum kit in the conditions last Christmas time. So hopefully this is just a one-off, and next time we can actually get Zach behind a kit with loads of microphones.
For sure, I agree with that. That's pretty much what happened. I'd say that creation wise on the artwork and promo and stuff like that, and all the other behind the scenes bollocks has been going on for a long time. We bought the artwork must be over a year ago now, and we've had people making visualizers, and there's a dude making a music video for us now, and the thematic parts of the EP have just been kind of being chipped away slowly. We're getting there, you know. The promo campaign was kind of ready in late spring because we were going to release it in March originally, but because the recording process is pushed back, just like every fucking release ever, it has hence its release date now, right? So slowly.
Yeah, slowly getting there. So the aesthetic of all of it, the artwork that you mentioned, an upcoming music video, that's very exciting to hear. But do you guys keep creative control over what all that looks like, or do you kind of let the people that you're getting to make all this stuff sort of run free with it, as it were?
It's a mixture. Like when I write the songs and I write the lyrics and I generate the themes, there is a base idea, but I'm happy to let people do their thing. You know, I think with music video and animation and stuff like that, I don't want to constrain people too much because they obviously have their ideas about what I've told them about the concept in the first place. Like if I give someone my thoughts, I don't want to control the result as well because then maybe that's creative constriction. Don't know. So I think if I was on their end, I'd rather have a little bit more freedom because then it's more fun for everyone, right? And you have a better working relationship with them. I'm not their fucking dad, you know. I'm just their mate, just asking for a service. So I'd rather have them do what they do their thing, you know, because they're good at what they do, right? Like we're good at what we do, they're good at what they do.
Yeah, awesome. Completely agree with that. So I've noticed you've shared on your various social media pages that a couple of outlets have already given your EP a quick glimpse already. How has the response been on the whole? I would suspect largely positive, as was Spiralism received.
Zach?
Well, yeah, I guess it's all been pretty positive. I'm sure I saw a review the other day. Someone gave it an 8 out of 10, like an actual score, whereas most people are just doing like little write-ups on it. But yeah, man, it's all class. Loads of people have been sharing it around all the outlets and stuff, and it just seems buzzing. I think I saw a Ukraine one the other day as well. Someone picked it up in Ukraine, which was pretty cool. So yeah, it's reaching people already, and we haven't played a show with the new lineup yet. So yeah, man, it's exciting.
Awesome. So it's funny you mentioned you haven't done a show with the new lineup yet. I was going to ask those of you that are new to this band, is there pressure slipping into this band, filling in from people who came before, or is there, you guys have got this covered, or is it no big deal at all?
I feel like this is a completely rejuvenated lineup with a completely new set of songs. I think I'm not worried at all that there were band members that came before. I think this is a new exciting part.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I don't feel like I have shoes to fill per se. Also, due to the fact it was a 3-piece before, and now we've expanded into a larger lineup. So having a second guitar, I think there's more possibilities. And I'm just excited to see what I can offer creatively, but also, keep within the lines of the established sound. Yeah.
I am majorly feeling the pressure. Am I the only one? Like, I mean, I'll give you a bit of context for it. I used to play like mathcore, grindcore stuff before this, and I've come into practice, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I am playing everything too fast. I am not used to playing at like 60 BPM. I'm used to playing at like 240 BPM. So like, that's where the challenge is. It is tough, man, getting into the groove of it instead of just going a bit nuts and taking a more serious approach, I suppose.
It's not to say I don't feel pressure either. The gig we have lined up for the 7th of August is actually set to be my first gig, actually. So sort of one step up from bedroom guitarist. So I'm definitely feeling the pressure in that sense, but I think that I'm up to the task, and I'm just excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, awesome. I think anyone here, I mean, myself included, who have been in a band, as soon as you move from the bedroom to that stage for the first time, you never want to go back to the bedroom, mate. It's going to be absolutely incredible. So have you guys had a chance to write new music as this new collective yet?
Oh, Morgan should answer that.
I mean, like, I write when I'm at home. Yeah, I'm writing slowly but consistently, and I think I'm really open to having the new influences and the new writing techniques. But as a band, we haven't, probably due to coronavirus and schedules, haven't been able to write in a practice room. So I think the most effective writing technique is just for me to get the ideas I have, bring them in, and have everyone else give their opinion on it. Now it's more of a democratic organization. I'd rather have the inputs kind of mold the remaining products rather than us kind of bring our cacophony into a fucking band room and then yeah, waste our practice time that we could spend prepping for a show, if you feel me.
Yeah. Of course.
Quite
Like you,
streamlined.
yeah. Well, yeah. It's, I can imagine it might get messy if you bring in with your like really atmospheric, philosophical doom track, and then a mathcore blast beat comes charging straight through. But
Yeah,
who am I
I
to
have
judge?
to try so hard to not ruin everyone's day too much. They keep me in control rather well.
Yeah, awesome stuff. I cannot wait to hear this new EP, guys. I'm really excited. I loved Spiralism so much. I thought it was awesome. So I'm really excited to hear this new EP. So moving off from the EP, I wanted to talk about the band's aesthetic. How would you define it? I see the word cosmic come up a lot in your social media bios, as it were.
The aesthetic is, I don't know, maybe it's still to be defined. Like, obviously, we're pretty fresh, so we're still kind of finding the aesthetic, but we're mainly going for obviously a very like desolate vibe. Um, Artistically, the shit that we put out is obviously following some kind of theme, and that's mainly like a deep space vibe. And although there are aspects of it that are not based around deep space, I try and keep it at least lyrically sticking to that because I don't I don't want to write about humans. I don't like humans, so I'd rather write about black holes and nebula stuff like that. I find that way more interesting than um, you know human earthly bullshit. So the vibe is ideally space, but I'm not averse to talking to people if I need to, or talking about people if I need to. But yeah, aesthetically, ideally spacey.
Yeah, you don't form a metal band because you like people unless you're Devon Townsend, basically. So yeah. So I've got a quote from you guys from a previous interview you did before, saying we breach boundaries concerning metaphysics and the experience of the self in relation to the universe. Our conceptual themes orbit around the theories of philosophy of destructive deep space entities. Why do you think the extreme metal that you guys play is the perfect style to explore those kind of very grand and very epic themes?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Aiden, do you
Oh,
want to give that?
Hmm.
he's run away. He doesn't want to answer the
Yeah.
question.
I think with a metal band, you've got that really massive, expansive sound, and I think that ties in neatly with massive, expansive topics. But in the same vein, um, I've got quite broad tastes when it comes to metal, and I find that it can handle any subject matter. So I think with the right angle, you can take any subject matter and fit it into a song.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd say that
I'm a big power metal fan, so I know about the importance of being able to write a good song about a metal party.
I'd say that the nature of the music being quite atmospheric and progressive is quite accommodating to these like introspective sort of lyrical themes. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's my
Definitely
2 cents.
atmosphere and creating spacey vibe, right? With the relation to the self and the interaction between yourself and the universe. That's a difficult thing to portray musically. How can you musically excreate philosophy in like a sonoscape? I don't know how you do that, but we're gonna try.
Sorry, Zach, did you catch the question before we lost you there?
No, I caught the beginning of it, so I got the vibe. So yeah.
Do you have any thoughts, or shall we move on?
I'll move on. Might as
We'll
well.
move on. We'll move on. So yeah, where did the idea come from to go with those kind of lofty themes? Why not just go with the typical extreme metal thing of the occult or gore or church burnings, that kind of thing?
Again, it's like lyrically, it's something that I've always grown bored of, or not bored of, but maybe I've had my fill of it. I've been into metal for a long time. I've been to a lot of metal shows and read a lot of metal lyrics, and I've done, I've done like the death metal phase, I've done the metalcore phase, the deathcore phase, all of that stuff. I don't want to say that I'm bored of it because I'm not bored of it, but when I write about something, I want it to be different. And the thing that interests me more than those things is the space stuff, because there's so much to write about. There's so much more, and they're monolithic, man. You're a fucking fool in comparison to this thing. This thing could obliterate everything you've ever known in half a second or whatever. So I think, yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking when I'm writing about that stuff. And as for the occult themes and stuff like that, there is a crossover because a lot of it is theorized. We can't prove it, but it's based on science, which would make it not cultish. Because a cultish is kind of a bit more mystic and maybe a bit more fantasy based. Maybe depends on the band, right?
Yeah, of course. Where do you draw inspiration from when considering those kinds of topics? Do you have a go-to, I don't know, astrophysicist or science fiction literature that you draw from?
Yeah, I've got a book. Want to see my book?
He's prepared.
This is what I'm reading. It's backwards on the screen.
Oh, I've got that. I haven't read it yet.
It's fucking hard to read, man. Like if you're not versed in astrophysics, like this shit blows your mind, and it's very difficult to keep up with what's going on because they start introducing terms and concepts, and then before you know it,
I'm gone again, aren't I?
snowed under with shit you don't know about. But yeah, the sources is just stuff I find online mainly, or stuff I read, and I really love learning about that stuff because eventually, dude, none of this will ever matter. Eventually, dude, we won't be like no one's going to be begging for a Zoom call when the Earth is like obliterated by the sun, and everything that we've ever known or ever have known will be. So that's why I like it.
I think you just blown Zach's mind. Oh dear. We'll see if he can catch up, as it were. So, last question regarding like aesthetic and that kind of thing. I've seen the band dabble around with corpse paint on occasion. Was that something that you intended to commit to in the long run, or was that just a one-off thing here and there that you guys tried?
Started out as a bit of a gimmick, and it looks cool. It looks cool. Every band looks cool and cool. Every person looks better in corpse paint, but it is it's kind of connoted with the classic black metal vibe, which we're just not. We have elements of it. There are elements of black metal, no blackness, atmosphere, and stuff like that. But I wouldn't say there's enough of that to direct us towards that. And also, it's the association with the other bands in that scene that I just don't think that we have, maybe. Although, I'm happy to do it again. It's fucking fun.
Yeah, we discussed this in practices, and I think we realized that just putting corpse paint on isn't quite like committing enough to the look, and you need to have like a full outfit to go with it. And I don't think we were really willing to invest in the like spiked gauntlets to complete that look. Didn't think it really fit with us.
I don't think it's that kind of band either. I think if you're wearing corpse paint, you've kind of got to earn it. You got to be real true cult fucking, writing about Satan and whatnot. Not necessarily, but I don't think we're that kind of band, in my opinion, anyway.
There's elements. There's nuggets of malice that you could. Yeah, there's bits of it where you could go, that could be black metal, but
yeah,
I was right. It's not enough, and Aiden was also right with the. If we had corpse paint and and I was wearing this, like a black tongue shirt, aesthetically it doesn't quite match up, which I don't mind, but oh yeah, Zach's back. I think he downloaded it in 2 seconds.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with my connection on my end. I've just downloaded the Zoom app, so hopefully that should be a bit more stable.
That's fine. It's a true cult, as it were, to have sketchy video quality. So
yeah, I mean, my laptop, I can feel the heat from my laptop at the moment, fully overheating. So we'll see what's going on.
Yes, I can feel the heat from every bloody appliance in this house in this fucking heat wave we're having right now. So anyway, as I'm sure you guys know, the Bristol metal scene is huge, so many bands doing so many different kinds of things. However, and for the record, I don't profess to know every single metal band in Bristol, maybe one day, but not right now. But from the ones that I have heard, I can't recall ones that tap into the realms of extreme metal that you guys go to. A little bit of black metal, a little bit of sludge, a little bit of doom. Did you guys feel like you were doing something unique with this EP regarding the local scene? Was that a conscious decision, if that's the case?
Aiden.
Hmm.
Aiden's busy.
Always.
Sorry. Well, I've seen a fair few bands around Bristol, and yeah, I think it's a nice idea to combine styles that you haven't mixed with before. And I've definitely seen like a Bristol black metal band, and there's definitely a Bristol beatdown band that is somewhere. I haven't met them yet. But no, the marriage of them all is what makes our act stand out. Definitely within the scene of it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that there are bands that have elements of what we're going for, but mashing all that shit together is something a bit brave. So maybe the other bands prefer one particular genre over another. But because like I'm one of those people, I know the other guys are too, that they like a lot of different types of stuff. Like I know Noah really loves hardcore, Zach loves grindcore, Aiden loves power metal for some reason. So,
Because it's great fun, and you don't like
power
fun.
metal. Because
Whoa,
power
weird
metal
guy.
is amazing. Blind Guardian, one of the best bands
all
of
right.
all time.
Yeah, exactly.
why do you say that? Why do you say?
So as you know, like black metal fans especially can get really protective over, as we've said, true cult, as it were. So, do you feel a little bit of pressure melding it with other different genres, or does that not really bother you?
No, I think that is a vanishingly small minority of internet dwelling losers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People who think that every black metal band needs to look and sound like Dark Funeral.
Yes.
That they're not listening to. We're doing our own thing, and there are going to be people who want to hear it because it's new.
I think there's nothing good about gatekeeping, and I think music is constantly open to change and evolving. And if you want to just keep the same sound that we've had since 1991, where is it going to go? It's not interesting. People want.
And I think that
Yeah, I feel like those genre boundaries have kind of come down a bit, and people are just more open to just like merging stuff and experimenting, and that's cool. I think that's a good thing.
yeah, and I think that's clearest even just with the biggest black metal bands like Mayhem have changed up their look and changed up their sound so many times. They don't sound like their debut. And Emperor ditched the corpse paint and the armor, and they went in all sorts of weird directions, and people love them for it. So more power to them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, of course, all eyes are on your upcoming EP dropping very soon. But as well as that, what else is coming from Moon Reaper? I'm sure you're very desperate to get out there and do as many gigs as you possibly can. Now that today is Freedom Day, of the day of record, I say Freedom Day, more like day we're told to not, go hug each other for better or worse. But anyway, moving on from that, I'm sure you guys have got plenty of shows in the pipeline coming up.
Zach?
Yeah, there's a couple. There's Southwest Heavy Fest, obviously, which is the first one on was it the 8th or the 9th? My dates are horrendous. Which will be the very, very first one. And there's another one coming up later in September. We're playing in Bristol with Bear Pit, Silas, and Fangs, who are all literally sick. I was listening to Silas last night on Spotify, the quality, man. Yeah, all three of them are sick. That's Atheris Promotions, who are just class. So, yeah, man, that's going to be a sick one. That's a rough trade, isn't it? September 30th, I think. Yeah, man, I don't know if there's any more.
I've
Yeah,
already got
there's,
that gig.
Eradication Festival in November.
Of course.
Gavin was kind enough to
Eradication.
put us on the Black Metal Day. So we're going to be playing with, I think, Agrona and Hecate Enthroned. Although like 8 hours before them. It's a long day.
Yeah, I've already got your Rough Trade show bookmarked to my calendar. If I can be there, I'm absolutely gonna fucking be there because that is
Oh,
a
it's gonna be brutal, man.
stunning lineup. Seriously,
Bangers so sick. Well, all of them are sick.
yeah, absolutely. Bear Pit as well. I've seen them live before. I'm not one for hardcore, but they really know how to work a crowd, so that should be a lot of fun. So, basically, I like to round off these interviews in sort of the same kind of way. Basically, I have some quick fire questions for you. You can take as long as you like answering. You can even debate amongst yourselves as you will. I definitely did not steal this from Empiricon's 25 questions series on YouTube. This is Crushing Sound's various questions, as it were. So, first up, thrash metal versus extreme metal. Which do you prefer?
Are
Extreme
they
metal.
different?
Oh,
Are they different?
Thrash and extreme? Come on, of course they're different.
Yeah. You get like death thrash. You get every different kind of interpretation.
All right.
What would you call
Okay.
vector?
Okay, let's be specific then.
Extreme
When I say thrash metal, I'm talking, like classic Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, Exodus. Extreme metal would be death metal, black metal, grindcore, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Death metal. Death metal is the angriest, most violent form of music. It does everything that thrash does, but even faster and even more violently.
I would be inclined to agree with that, but I also love thrash metal. So, yeah.
I would say extreme as well, purely because there's more in it, and yeah, thrash is like. Sorry, someone just called me. Yeah, I definitely extreme. There's more shit that I like in it for sure. What was that?
Yeah, extreme. However, Municipal Waste and DRI are the only thrash bands to ever exist, in my opinion. So, and they're class.
Yeah. Second question, and this one always sparks debate: Metallica versus Slayer.
Slayer. Slayer aggressively strums the opening string.
Slayer in principle, but Metallica's first 4 albums were brilliant. So, Slayer.
Slayer. Absolutely.
Yeah, Slayer. Easy.
Heated debate. Moving on.
Exactly. Next question: Mosh pit versus standing at the barrier.
Mosh.
Mosh.
Yeah, I'll do both. It depends on the band. If I'm scared of the band, I stand at the barrier.
Scared of the band.
Oh no, stand at the barrier just means
Proud,
you'll get
mate.
No, the real gigs you want to go to don't have a barrier, so you're leaning up against the stage, and you've got this fucking 150 kilo dude barreling into you from behind.
Yeah,
Who's
I
just
don't
been
like
thrown
that.
out of the mosh pit.
I caught a guy at a Bronx show once, and I'm really weak, and I almost dropped him straight away. I had to lie him back down on the ground, caught him, and let him down slowly.
You're a buffer.
Oh dear. Okay. Next question: black metal versus doom metal.
Black metal.
Doom.
Metal, black metal.
Black metal.
Doom.
Black metal. Lay down your soul to the gods, rock and roll.
The gods rock and roll. We'll get a unanimous answer at some point, I'm sure. Going off music for this one: horror movie versus action movie.
Horror.
Horror.
Action. I prefer horror music to horror movies. Don't know why.
Well, I'm doing my dissertation on Japanese gore films, so I've got to say horror.
I mean, yeah, that's the best elaboration on an answer I've heard so far. So following on from that, favorite movie.
Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz, yeah. I was going to say V for Vendetta is probably my favorite, but low key is Hot Fuzz.
Movie. Oh man. shit. I really liked Hereditary. I don't know about favorite movie, but it's up there.
Hereditary is amazing.
I'm a film student, so I don't believe in a perfect film, but no, man, I could give you three. I'd go Midsummer, Alien, Cleo from 5 to 7.
The Lighthouse is great.
Yeah.
The Lighthouse.
Yeah,
Me, don't get me started. Yeah, I'm not going to carry on because I'll talk forever about films. Pink Flamingos.
that's fine.
John Waters is a gay icon, and
Yeah.
Oh my god.
John Waters. Anything John Waters.
People often say that this section is like therapy for these bands. Just me throwing these questions you never thought to ask each other. Although Midsommar is an incredible movie. If you've not seen it, for God's sake, watch it. It's so good. Summer versus winter.
Winter.
Summer, because that's when the festivals are.
True.
Summer.
Winter Man. Goes with the whole black metal vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to like summer during this blazing heat wave we're having.
Yeah. I just want to listen to pop punk when it's like this, and that's not a good.
I'm from South Africa, so I'm used to the heat. So I love it.
I'm from Wales, so I'm used to the cold. Also, I'm too edgy for summer. So there's that.
Favorite album.
Did you?
Obscene by Meshuggah. That was the first album that made me go like, oh shit, this is heavy as fuck. And I love it.
Storm of the Light's Bane by Dissection.
The Maya by Conjurer.
See, now, neither of mine are heavy. It's either In the Aeroplane Over the Sea by Nick Hotel
What?
or Silent Shout by The Knife.
Good taste.
That's it. See, one day I'm going to ask that question. Someone's going to say, "Oh, ABBA, yeah."
Lana Del Rey, man, like,
Oh, man. Charlie XCX's latest couple of albums. I'm getting those on vinyl soon. They're so good.
Well, each to their own and all that rubbish. Okay, nearly there. Favorite video game?
Easily Skyrim. Like, no questions asked.
Oh, yeah. What did you say?
I said Skyrim.
Oh, Skyrim.
I got one. Super Mario Galaxy. Love it. Makes me so happy. Either that or Chrono Trigger. The only game to actually make me invested in the story.
I'm gonna go with Halo 3.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Persona 5 for me, I think.
Very vast array of different answers there. Not expecting Chrono Trigger, but that is an amazing game. I will give you that.
Best soundtrack too.
Oh, it's so fucking good. I love a good RPG. Favorite band / artist?
Dream Theater.
Oh.
Morgan is so depressed right now.
Could be worse. You could have said like
No comment.
Powerwolf or something.
Oh, if I had to pick a power metal band, it'd actually be Freedom Call. Even cheesier.
Right now, probably Blood Incantation, but it changes all the time, man.
Oh yeah, it's difficult. Probably it shifts, man, but I consistently love Wormrot's discography. I like everything they've put out, and I never get bored of them. So yeah, maybe Wormrot.
Either Gojira or Smile More.
Oh, don't even, you son of a bitch.
What was the second one?
That was my band he's plugging there. Don't listen to him.
Right.
We'll go with Gojira, shall we? Yeah. No one likes Smile More. Don't make me laugh. Anyway, final question. favorite Moon Reaper song?
Oh, probably God Eater, but that hasn't come out yet. But you'll fucking see why. But yeah,
Good question.
I really like Time Warper, which actually has come out. Came out a couple of weeks ago.
kind of. Not really, not properly, but it will.
If you go looking, you can find it.
Yeah, I'd say Time Warper probably.
Man,
That's-
Time Warper's the most fun to play, I think. But I've got to go with Necromancy. There's just something to it. I love the hook in that. I love the atmosphere in it. I love the build. It's Necromancy for me in terms of listening to it.
Yes, I believe those are all songs that have not officially yet been released. So it's great promotion for the new EP, guys. That was very smoothly done. So yeah, that's all I've got. So thank you guys again so much for taking the time to come and speak to me today. I will leave links in the description below where people can find you guys on all the social media nonsense so they can give you guys some support. Check out Moon Reaper's new EP coming out very, very soon. We'll, of course, be plugging the shit out of it as we get closer to the date. Thanks again, guys. I really, really appreciate it.
Man, stay cool.
Cheers.